Hey guys, welcome to Chapter 6, Lesson 6. Today is our problem-solving investigation, and our strategy is we're going to be looking for a pattern. Now, I want to draw attention. I know I'll talk about it when we're doing the examples too, but this guy here is called a table. Okay, we've got rows that go left to right and columns that go up and down. And the thing that I love that they're showing in this is they're saying, okay, from 2 to 4, add 2. 4 to 8, add 4. 8 to 16, add 6. Now, another thing that I'm noticing is we could do times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So we could have done, they looked at plus 2, plus 4, plus 8, plus 16, plus 32. We also could just be multiplying from each cell. Each rectangle in here is called a cell, C-E-L-L, not S-E-L-L. We could also multiply each one by 2. So it kind of is nice to write down what's happening. Oftentimes kids will just say, oh yeah, I know this is the pattern, and then they go too fast and then they don't realize the pattern is changing, right? So I just wanted to point that out. I love that they wrote down what's happening between each cell, and so we're going to practice that. So let's get started. All right, let's look at the first example here. Oh, we're learning the strategy. Sorry, not example 1. Learning strategy. In the first row of her tile pattern, Christina uses 2 tiles. So you can look up here, 2 tiles. She uses 4 in the next, 8 in the next, and 16 in the 4th row. If she continues the pattern, how many tiles will be in the 6th row? So first step that we always should do when reading a word problem is say, what facts do we know? Okay, so there will be blank tiles in the first row. We know there's 2. Then it jumps to 4. Then it jumps to 8. Then it jumps to 16. Now, I kind of already talked about what the pattern was here, but we'll forget about that because we don't know it, right? So the number of tiles, what we need to find is the number of tiles that will be in the 6th row. So wait a minute. They gave us 4 rows. They didn't even ever talk about the 5th row. So that's a tricky thing that kids often forget. They'll find the next number in the pattern, but that's not what the question is asking. It's asking for, really, you need to find the next 2 numbers in the pattern. So here we go. Our plan is we're going to make a table. Okay, here's our table here. So first row, 2. Second row, 4. Third row, 8. Fourth row, 16. Fifth row, what? So as you can see, we're doubling. And when we double, really what we're doing is we're just multiplying by 2. Or if you look and you see the addition, you say, okay, well, the first one's plus 2, then plus 4. You can do it that way too. But we've been practicing multiplication, so I'm not sure why they didn't do multiplication. Anyways, so 16 plus 16 is what they're saying we need to do for the 5th. 16 plus 16. 6 plus 6 is 12. Then I've got 3 10s to add together, 32. 32. Okay. And then I need to add 32 plus 32. Well, I guess that's why, because we don't know how to do 32 times 2. Not 36. 32. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 3 is 6. So 64. Is what our last one is. So what is the information? Do we need to know about the 5th? No, we need it in order to figure out the 6th. But so there will be 64 tiles in the 6th row. Does your answer make sense? Explain. Yes. We are doubling each time. I don't know. I'm going to go with that. We were doubling each time, and it follows the pattern. All right, here we go. Practice the strategy. Now, this will maybe be a lot of writing. Do you have to write it all down? No. I would rather you pay really close attention and say, okay, I understand, than for you to get focused on writing it all down and then you miss something. So here we go. JC mows lawns every other day. He earns $5 in the first day. After that, he earns $1 more than the day before. If he starts mowing on the first day of the month, how much money will he earn the 9th day of the month? So what facts do we know? We know he on the first first day, we have $5. Okay. We know that $1 more than the day before. Right? We know that each day he earns $1 more than the day before. What do we need to find? How much money on the 9th day? Question mark. Okay, our plan. Make a table. Right? Let's just make a table. They are wonderful for organizing your information or your data. So let's do that. Now I would like for you to practice making this table with me. So I do want you to write down the whole table, please. Okay, so how I start by making my table is I try to make a big rectangle. Now is Mrs. Hamer drawing super straight lines? No, I am not. I'm trying, but kind of hard on an iPad, you know. Okay, and we're just going to cut it down the middle like the last one. I'm going to write day 1, day 2. And you know, I should have done this differently, but oh well. Day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, didn't make my rectangle, then you just extend it, see, there we go, cut this in 2, because then I can do day 8 and day 9, okay, then what I know is he starts off making $5, then it's going to go to 6, because he makes $1 more than the day before. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So on day 9, he's going to make 13. Does your answer make sense? Yeah, it does. Because I made a table. I made a table, and I was very careful when I made that table. Right? That is always a good question to ask ourselves at the end. Like, does it make sense that he would make 13 days? Yeah, it's not a whole lot more than 5. Right? And if I go from 1 to 9, and I think about, okay, how many days would that be? Yeah, it makes sense. 13 makes sense. So, let's do one more problem here, just so that we can get a little bit of the swing of things. I'm on page 332. So, Marissa, number 2. Marissa delivers newspapers on Highview Drive. First house number is 950. The next is 940. The third is 930. If the pattern continues, what will the next house number be? Okay, so let's make a table. So we've got the house number. And then, I don't know, I guess the next one would be like the order of houses, right? So the first house is house number 950. The second house is number 940. Hopefully you're seeing the pattern here. Third house is 930. So what's happening each time? Minus 10, minus 10. What is the next house number? So that fourth house number, I need to do minus 10. So if you need to, you could always do 930 minus 10 is 920. Okay. If in doubt, you're like 950 to 940, I don't know what the difference is. So the difference means we need to subtract them. So if you needed to, you could always go, okay, 950 minus 940, 0 minus 0, 5 minus 4, 9 minus 9, it's 10. 10 is the difference, right? Because it's not always going to be nice and easy like 10. Sometimes it's going to be 1,583, right? So sometimes we're going to need to figure out what is the difference. On this one, it was pretty easy to see. We're only changing the tens place, right? 9 and 0 stay the same, but the tens place is what's changing. So that's why it's only changing by 1. So that's why we know it's a 10. So if the pattern continues, what will the next house number be? The next house number is 920. All right, that's all I have for you for today. Thanks for watching to the end, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.